Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. When you think of early America, you probably picture the 13 British colonies, right? The Pilgrims, the Boston Tea Party, all that good stuff. But what if I told you there was another massive European power with a sprawling empire right in the heart of North America, long before the United States was even a dream? An empire that stretched from the icy north of Canada all the way down to the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Today, we're diving deep into the forgotten story of New France, the vast, secret French colonies that shaped America in ways you've never imagined. So, let's set the scene. It's the early 1500s. While Spain is conquering the south and England is just starting to eye the east coast, France sends its own explorers, like Jacques Cartier, sailing up a massive river he names the St. Lawrence. He's looking for a route to Asia. But what he finds is a land rich with resources, especially something that would become like gold for the next 2 centuries: beaver pelts. This kicked off a massive fur trade. Unlike the English, who often cleared land for farms and pushed Native Americans out, the French built their empire on partnerships. They formed deep alliances with tribes like the Huron and Algonquin. French traders, known as coureurs des bois, or runners of the woods, lived among these tribes, learned their languages, and even started families. This wasn't just business. It was a unique cultural exchange that defined the French presence in America. The heart of New France was Quebec, founded by the legendary Samuel de Champlain in 1608, a year after Jamestown. But this wasn't just about Canada. The French were ambitious explorers. They weren't content to just stay on the coast. Missionaries and traders pushed westward, using the Great Lakes as a highway into the continent's interior. They established a network of forts and trading posts, creating a huge arc of influence. Think of places like Detroit, which comes from the French word for the strait, or Des Moines, meaning of the monks. Their fingerprints are still all over the map. Then came the game changer. In 1682, an explorer named René Robert Cavelier, Sieur de la Salle, did something incredible. He led an expedition all the way down the Mississippi River to its mouth at the Gulf of Mexico. Standing there, he claimed the entire river basin for France and named it La Louisiane, Louisiana, in honor of King Louis XIV. This was a massive territory. We're talking about an area that would eventually become parts of 15 US states and 2 Canadian provinces. This wasn't just a few forts. It was a strategic move to hem in the British colonies along the coast and control the entire American heartland. They built key settlements like New Orleans, a vibrant, multicultural city that blended French, Spanish, African, and Native American cultures into something totally unique. So why don't we hear more about this colossal French empire? Well, there was one big problem: population. New France was huge, but it was sparsely populated. While hundreds of thousands of British colonists were pouring onto the East Coast, seeking religious freedom and land, the French colonies struggled to attract settlers. The French crown was more focused on the fur trade and military control than on large-scale farming settlements. This meant that while they controlled a vast territory on paper, their actual grip was thin, relying on a network of forts and native alliances. This difference in settlement patterns would ultimately set the stage for a colossal showdown. This rivalry with the British simmered for decades, exploding into what we call the French and Indian War, or the 7 Years' War as it was known in Europe. From 1754 to 1763, these 2 superpowers and their respective Native American allies fought a brutal war for control of the continent. Battles raged from the forests of Pennsylvania to the plains of Quebec. You've probably heard of a young British officer named George Washington, whose early military career was forged in this very conflict. Ultimately, the British, with their superior numbers and powerful navy, won. The 1763 Treaty of Paris was a devastating blow for France. They were forced to give up all their territory in mainland North America. Canada and everything east of the Mississippi went to Britain, while the vast Louisiana territory west of the river was handed over to their ally, Spain, as a consolation prize. Just like that, the French Empire in America was gone. But was it really? The story doesn't end there. The legacy of New France is alive and well. The French language, culture and laws are still deeply embedded in Quebec. In Louisiana, you can still feel the French influence in the food, the music, and the architecture of the French Quarter in New Orleans. Cajun culture, born from French-speaking Acadians who were expelled from Canada by the British and resettled in Louisiana, is a powerful testament to this enduring heritage. And don't forget, it was France's lingering resentment over losing their empire that led them to support the American Revolution. Without French money, ships, and soldiers, the United States might never have been born. And then, in a final ironic twist of history, Napoleon, needing cash for his wars in Europe, sold the massive Louisiana territory back from Spain to France, and then, almost immediately sold it to the United States in 1803, the Louisiana Purchase. This single act doubled the size of the young country and fulfilled the French dream of a continental nation. Just not for France. So, the next time you look at a map of the United States, remember the hidden empire that lies beneath. The secret colonies of New France, with their adventurous traders, strategic forts, and complex alliances, didn't just disappear. They laid a foundation that shaped the geography, culture, and even the very existence of the country we know today. It's a powerful reminder that history is never as simple as it seems. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden corners of history. Let me know in the comments what other forgotten histories you'd like to explore. See you in the next video.